The 2018-19 Tampa Bay Lightning are a rarity in a parity-filled landscape that is the modern-day National Hockey League. In the current 2-conference, 4-division class system, you have the tiers of, okay, they can win a cup. Yeah, they could do some damage. I have no f***ing idea, dude. And below average / completely unmitigated disaster / still in the race because the West is a complete f***ing embarrassment. Can someone please take that second wild card for the love of God? This year, unlike in recent seasons, the Bolts aren't just very good. Nor are they just a cup contender. Putting this team in either of those camps is an insult to our father's work. On the contrary, Monfrere, they are an entirely different league. I'm talking the strength of 31 different teams in one. I mean, it's in the abbreviation. Nikita Kucherov's on pace for 317 points, yet the casual fan probably has no idea who he is. Darn do I wish the sport was more popular. Steven Stamkos is fully healthy again and back to scoring like it's the Brendan Morrow days. Braden Point's stock has exploded and he's playing like an elite madman in the 2-hole. Victor Hedman, Andrei Vasilevsky will be a regular in the Vezina voting for the next 5 years. You're welcome. John Cooper gets his guys and they get him. They have the best damn supporting cast in the game, from guys like Tyler Johnson to Matthew Joseph. A testament to the organization's unfair draft pedigree. Just look at these names and faces in their drafted places. Like, when your backup is winning 10 straight starts posting numbers like this, yeah, I'd be over the moon too, man. Of course, this success is nothing new to any of us. Time and again, the Bolts have kept setting the bar for organizations on and off the ice with a collection of ingenious moves. Pick off Cooper from the USHL, watch him win 28 straight games for the AHL club and translate seamlessly the NHL. Deal a pile of grit for Kyle Quincy, flip him to a desperate contender for a first, and draft the goalie of your future, which is now the present. Sign a guy who spent most of his third pro season in the ECHL, mold him into a 25-goal scorer in the NHL 4 years later. Embrace the undersized, watch him and the triplets fly. Gotta sign 2 of them in the summer with a tight cap? No problem. Parlay Valtteri Filppula into Mark Streit, and him into almost $3 million in space to lock them down. Thought to be cornerstone Jonathan Drouin doesn't want to play for your AHL team? His agent telling the media that there's no reason for him to play for the organization going forward? Facing a crisis situation where probably more than half the other GMs would have traded the player in question then and there? Pause. Let him get it all out. Let him work to get back. Reward him with a call-up. Watch him dominate in the playoffs. Enjoy his valuable breakout season. Flip him for a blue-chip defenseman that you needed in Mikhail Sergachev. Stevie, you are a god! Of course, nobody's 137% perfect with 0 missed notes and all 201 golden bananas. But damn it, Steve Yzerman had 9 incredible seasons as this team's general manager, and the fruits of his labor have been abundant. Before this season, from 2013 to 18, the franchise enjoyed its most successful 5-year run in its history. 238 regular season wins, a division championship, a conference title, Wait, that's it? Yeah, it's hard to believe that as well built and consistent as the Lightning have been for half the decade, they've only got 2 banners displaying trophies that aren't the Stanley Cup to show for it. If you're telling me that my GM and his brass balls were able to lock up a big 3 for under $10 million each, fit a roster of equally fun role players around them, have a Norris Trophy winner patrolling your back end, and give me 2 goalies that each finished in the top 3 in the Vezina voting? Yeah, a cup or 2 sounds about right. More than 2 of these, or a couple number retirements at least. But alas, that 2004 banner still looks mighty lonely in the rafters of Emily. And I know, it's not for a lack of trying. 2015, you run into a dynasty capper in the Chicago Blackhawks, have a goalie shuffle with Ben Bishop getting hurt in the final, and your best forward breaks his wrist after scoring too many goals against pre-Valentine's Day Peter Mrazek. 2016, you make it back to the Final Four, only to see Bishop in elite form get hurt not even 13 minutes into Game 1. 2017, the bubonic plague happens, and you miss the playoffs by 1 point despite having 2 more wins than the last team in. Loser points win playoff berths, kids. 2018, Braden Holtby stops 53 of 53 in games 6 and 7. Okay, I can't spin this anymore. The team had a 2-1 series lead in the Stanley Cup final and separate 3-2 leads in 2 different conference finals with a chance to advance on home ice both times. Injuries and circumstances aside, they didn't get it done with the best squads in their history. missing several opportunities to put that last brick in the wall of franchise vindication. That in itself is a failure. But, on the other hand, we've all seen how hockey in Florida can look downstate.
Hey guys, stop wasting Sasha Barkov's prime years, you selectively bred house cats. That'll probably sign Sergei Bobrovsky to a deal he'll flame out in the third year on, but I guess Artemi Panarin sounds okay. F*** defense, am I right? Wait. They're 10th in shots allowed? Okay, f*** it, just do it. Be relevant, don't be afraid to be different and get yelled at by white-haired old hockey men.
In Tampa, the Bolts have recharged a fan base that proved to be quite strong when Vinny Lecavalier and Marty St. Louis were putting up the numbers that would get them in the rafters. This year, they're going to be in the dance for the 5th time in the last 6 seasons, something they've never done in almost 30 years of existing. There's a cultivated expectation to win that's been mandated from ownership on down through an organization with a variety of valuable backgrounds in the game. All of this shouldn't be dismissed entirely just because they haven't won another cup. But, on the other hand, in this league, it's a what have you done for me lately kind of life. And it's beyond time for this team to get over the hump and get this core ring. For starters, they're about to take the title of best team in franchise history away from last year's squad. The rapid fire intro didn't do this group justice. Past the performances of the big guns, the depth of this team really shines through. Johnson's been able to finish on Stamkos' wing. Andre Palat, although I'd like to see him out there a little more, is still a smart piece that can help drive possession. Yanni Gourde is a perfect and silently agitating complement to Point and Kucherov on the left side. Alex Killorn, Anthony Cirelli, and JT Miller have formed one of the better depth trios in the game with a solid combination of physicality, speed, and finish. Joseph's been a speedy scorer that's added offense to the fourth line. On the back end, thought to be trade throw-in, Eric Chernak has held his own with shutdown partner Ryan McDonough, who's your third defenseman. Okay? You don't even have space for Anton f***ing Strawman sometimes. What a luxury. One that provides a cautionary warning. When you have a plethora of young players performing up to a very valuable standard, sooner or later, they're going to be looking for their bells. Now, as well as Stevie dodged the salary cap like the pain in the ass it is, looks like even he knew his limits when he stepped down in September. Point is blossoming into one of the most productive young centers in the game playing with Kucherov. While that's unbelievably clutch to have a legitimate center behind Stamkos, he's going to be a restricted free agent going into a summer where Austin Matthews just signed this deal as a benchmark for superstar centers. Oh, and Mitch Marner, Sebastian Aho, Matthew Tkachuk, Mikko Rantanen, Kyle Connor, Brock Besser, Timo Meyer, and Patrick freaking Laine will also be cashing in. Okay, Laine not as much, but everyone else, yeah, it's gonna be crazy. While the Florida income tax safety net could help with the cap hit like it has in the past, I'm sure Jerry Johansson's looking at the production of his client compared to these guys and saying, "It will cost you 100 of your gems to cross." For the record, I say he gets at least $8.5 million, but you never know, there could be a bridge. In addition to Point's contract situation, the Lightning have other raises due to kick in next season. Gourde's cap number is going up an additional $4 million as his 6-year pack starts up. Not to be outdone, Kucherov's deal will elevate his hit by almost $5 million. Even McDonough's going up by almost $2 million as his extension starts up. Speaking of the back end, Dan Girardi, Braden Coburn, and Strawman will all be unrestricted free agents after the season. On the surface, it would seem like their potential departures may be additions by subtraction. They're over 30, they can't keep up with today's game, I need the cap space anyway. Easy decisions, right? Well, with how they played, not so much. Girardi and Hedman seem to gel up top. Coburn's surprisingly been the yin to Sergachev's yang analytically in a sheltered third pair. Strawman's declined in more ways than one, but over 100 games of postseason experience can make a difference for one of the young D come the spring. Even if all of them walk and the Lightning go for all the extra cap space that they can get, it would take some serious maneuvering to keep this entire group of forwards intact, and honestly, I just don't see how they can avoid moving at least one notable name. Oh, and Vasilevsky's up for a new contract at the end of next season. You know, it just seemed so much easier here. Although Julien Brisebois is probably ready for this after being mentored by one of the best GMs in recent memory and will be helped by the cap going up by almost $3.5 million, it's still going to be a tough first summer on the job. Which is why the Lightning have to win it now while they still have this group intact for the next few months. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not like the Bullets have an aging core with one or two more cracks at cup contention like the Sharks and their plate of over 30s with term. Outside of Ryan Callahan and the trio of aforementioned UFA D-men, no regular on the roster will turn 30 this season. That's pretty nuts. They'll be in the cup conversation for the foreseeable future, and rightfully so. However, it's one thing to be in the conversation, and another to actually pull it off. Tampa's had very good teams come through and fall just a bit short over the years. But this year's squad isn't just very good. Between the collection of superstar talent, the front-to-back balance of the roster, and contractual positioning that allows them to legally have a group that's this downright unfair, this squad has come together as one of the best of the cap era. These kinds of teams don't last very long anymore. With future considerations ahead in the summertime, the 2018-19 Tampa Bay Lightning will be no different. Now more than ever, it's their time.
I feel this change in role is important for me, which will allow me to spend more time with my family, and it also ensure that the Tampa Bay Lightning are managed to the standards that Jeff, all of us, everyone that works in this organization and is associated with this organization has come to expect.
Coached could play with a pain threshold like Steve Yzerman.
He's been a great captain, a great teammate, and a great friend.
You can measure an athlete and his performance in many ways, but the true measure of the greatest player of all time comes from gaining the respect of his peers and leading his team to success.